IV.
Well, I
That's
drank 2
minerals.
bottles of Gatorade and went down to the lobby.
Look what I
I just got a little bit better.
Pink Himalayan salt. And it does mess with your blood pressure.
What is it?
Pink Himalayan salt. Pure pink Himalayan salt has the minerals in it.
Yeah.
I have a good friend of mine.
I can't have salt.
Well, I have a good friend of mine who couldn't have salt either, and her other doctor said, have that.
That's right.
And she went to all that, didn't do anything else. She started a new company, she did exercise. Her blood pressure dropped 15 points just from that.
2 years ago, I did a mathematical. I started to think that I had salt. Arkansas Heart Hospital, I was doctor up at 8 a.m. Great salt. I said, everybody has to put the through. This may be salt. I laid off salt. I did 10%. Where I used to have it all yesterday. I got a whole like one.
Good deal.
But one, I just do. I still need back Gatorade. I gained a lot of fat. So I don't eat what we've been eating. But I won't do anything else for the rest of the day.
Hey, Joe, I got a liquid IV if you want it. Pack it. I got a whole lot.
Yeah,
This is boring.
I got that 10%.
Straight up mainline morphine or
Morning, sunshine.
Morning.
Yeah, everybody else does have a different trigger. My sodium gets low.
He told me that the heart hospital doctor said that we had to put in a ice cream. It should be full. So, yeah, I spent a lot of NASCAR. I did the first year, about 33 footballs. Second year, I did the weight.
Oh, yeah.
Fish.
Yeah.
And did that all season. I was an 8 foot. They literally come over and put the skin again.
Okie dokie. Is yours on manual? Are you gonna do your own hours again? I guess since we've got so much trouble.
Rain protected.
I like migraines. I have a friend of mine, she had migraines, she turned 40. Got divorced, sold her house, gets in their house. Her next door neighbor, the couple next door were like workout junkies. I mean like junkies, okay? So they literally drug her to the gym. And she was there like, we're gonna fix your migraines. I guarantee you. If she works out 5 days a week, gets heart rate about 150, wife for that workout, she gets no migraine. None. It's almost
goes better. It's got to. It just has. Hey, they got the National Guard out here. Hallelujah.
I remember the green shirts kids from last time they did fire.
You know, can't go any worse. Because that was the worst.
That was
absolutely the worst. That in 25 years, probably.
Yeah.
They all did. I'd say.
Run them as they are.
Yeah.
Oh no, Carter should go first, right? Carter should go first. You got a higher score. So Carter goes first. Okay. Dog numbers? You want the dog numbers? Okay. Yep. 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 27. Yep. 65. Yep. 33. Yep. 16. Yep. 48. Yep. 77. Yep. 75. 23. Yep. 72. Yep. Perfect. So did you hear how many? I didn't know this. Somebody texted me last night. I think you said yesterday. Somebody said last year the National Open had like 70 some rebirths. That's the most in like. You mean no birds? No birds in the 7th and 8th series, and the same dog. Like they put a dog back 3 or 4. Wow. And the next 2 dogs would be fine. Really? And it was somebody last night texted me that. Well, that was the punch. But it wasn't about. It wasn't about. Anyway, it happened.
Slow about the time of the corner of it.
They're supposed to All right, guns up, guys. Guns up. We're gonna do a practice run.
We try to keep it to an hour. Oh, yeah. Third time I slept, I did it when I figured it.
Everybody ready?
Push that button halfway, and you'll hear the gas coming in. Do it for 3-4 seconds, and then push it all the way down.
Nope. Nobody home. Now the sun's trying to come out. A hole in the sky.
Well, I mean, within reason, if you get far enough, like when you're sending, I'm going to tell you to call for the first one. Right, okay. All right, good luck, guys. Let's roll. I know that I'm in. points. Get 10 points for asking him to give you. Today's gonna be a perfect day. Unbelievable. I'm not gonna send the score for the dog number.
Nobody home.
I mean, here's the deal. We had every problem. I did it 2 days ago because I did it. I thought somebody last night. Tomorrow was twice where it is.
Here we go.
Alright, here we go. Dog to the line. Set. Third one. Go ahead. Third two.
on, guys. Okay. Bird. Don't do it. Bird one, go pick your bird up. Bird two, y'all good? You didn't hear me say bird two? You're welcome for that no bird.
All right. Carter had to go get his duck call because the way this works is they shoot this short bird on the right, and well, here we are, Super Retriever Crown Series Championship 2024, end of the fourth series. We got one more to go. Carter's up with red. Here's how they work this. They throw a short, the shortest bird is thrown first here on the right. Half hunt test, half field trial scenario. So this gentleman is in white, throws a short bird on the tip of the point. Then they throw this big, across the pond, up and out, longer retired gun. And after that happens, well, you switch gears. Bring the dog up. Now they throw the mama papa, and Carter's got to load his gun with 2 popper blanks. When he blows the duck call, that's the signal to throw the, I guess we'll call it the mama bird, comes out of that holding blind. Carter will shoot at that bird in the air. Boom. There's a great view. Okay, now they throw the papa bird. Goes on the tip of that point. Now, he's free to send quickly, stand up. Carter's going to stand up. And if I had to guess, he's going to try to get this bird on the tip of the point, but dog's going to line through that go bird. Hard to tell which bird he's looking for yet. Your biggest challenge here is just, there's 3 birds in a basket here, and trying to communicate what bird you're going to get. You know, he's hunting kind of betwixt and between these 2. Coming back. This little 55-yard mark on the tip of the point has been the demise of a few different dogs. You just want to get one of the 3, and it's like you can't quite decide which one he wants. Okay, well, he's going to end up getting, I think. See, that's a dark bird. So Carter's decided, hey, I better get this bird. That bird it's a dark Avery mallard. It's supposed to simulate a mallard, and it kind of blends in, it camouflages with some of those clumps, that little, looks like a little piece of driftwood on the tip of that, or that might be it. No, that looks like driftwood. Bird's right in there somewhere, and it's hard to believe this dog hasn't. Probably been all over this bird. Well, it feels like he's downwind of this bird. He's done everything but put his mouth on it. Not the start Carter was hoping for here. Let's see where that bird is. You know, if it's a bounce of the ball a little bit, because it must be just, right on the edge of the Just, you see that ground's a little rough, and it just, 12 inches there makes a difference, and that's called the bounce of the ball. That bird was just nestled in that little clumps of sod and dirt, and it was hard to see. So what's he going to get next? I think he's going to try to get the bird I think he tried to send for the first time. This little short bird on the tip of the point. You really got to sell these dogs on this to give them permission, because they're trained not to go back to where they've been, and if he thinks he's been there, they're going to oftentimes line by it. But he's going to come back and get it. Carter did a good job of talking him in there. You wouldn't, the scent is going to build up, even though these aren't real birds. The dogs are accustomed to the odor of these, whatever they're retrieving, whether it's bumpers, these are called easy birds, I guess. They used to be called Avery True birds. Sometimes they're not so easy. All right. Carter sends a little firmer here. Most dogs have kind of bent in here. They see the holding blind, which they recognize as a gun station. Now Carter sent pretty firm, but okay, well, this dog's doing what most dogs did yesterday. They started a little wide. All right. There may be a little angling right to left wind there that helped him a little bit, but we've got one big bird to go here. $7:59, so we got a little, with the time change, we got a little earlier start here. Notice where Carter's standing in relation to that dog's shoulder. If you want to push and influence, he's going to be further forward on him, giving that dog a nice long look to kind of try to recollect that vision of what that bird was. And now, some dogs, he maybe thought he had a little too far left look, because a few dogs got in trouble too left. Boy, that clump of marsh grass in front just deflects you one way or the other. All right. Well, that's the start you want. Boy, these dogs change their mind multiple times swimming across this lake. And I'll tell you, it's just, you had a chance to see maybe this overhead view. There's just enough angle to cross this pond that right shore kind of tempts them to come in. And if they land to the right, yeah, this guy's showing kind of, well, going in the direction. I think it's, it's, as they cross the middle of the pond, well, that looks good from there, doesn't it? That's the view that Carter has and the judges. So many of the really difficult factors are angling different factors, whether it's a road, angling a hillside, a pond, a channel. And now you can see there's that land on the right. Oftentimes they start out pretty good, and if they kind of lose their memory, they kind of square out. In other words, they go to the right, and if they just continue straight and fading a little right, it puts them in a position where they can't really get any scent or anything. So the dog looks pretty good, though. They'll make some adjustments, Sometimes they make 2 strokes to the right and then make a stroke to the left, and that's what I'm witnessing here. I've got a great view on the monitor as well as watching this dog, and he just gives me the instinct that he knows the bird, knows something's on that left hillside. He needs this bird. His first retrieve was rough. He had a big hunt. hunted kind of between all three marks and then got the bird, and then came back and did good on the other two. Boy, this is almost letter perfect. Well, he's going more at where the gun is, but that should be, does a nice re-entry into that second piece of water. That's just good training there. Now, if it weren't me, this just feels like a good spot. If the dog can get up and get in the area where the gunner stood, most of the time they can figure the rest of it out. But you see there's a little square out there, but I think, there you go. He's checking up a little short. I would expect this dog to work this bird out. Watch him when he smells where the gun stood. It'll be right in here somewhere, right there. Okay, that's where the gun threw. I think that's where the gun threw from. The dog says, well, I can smell a gun, or there's going to be a bird here somewhere. So he's just using the wind to try to swing downhill, and I think he just took advantage of it. Boom, there's a bird. Well, that was a beautiful mark. That was, Carter would like to give that mark to one of his later dogs, I would think. Well, we got one dog run. I think we did a little extra practicing. We had some challenges yesterday getting the throws where we wanted them. And sometimes that's a lot of pressure being out in that field and trying to make sure you get your throws right in the exact spot. Okay, well, I know what Carter's thinking. He's spending a lot of time looking at these right-hand birds, trying to decide what is his strategy going to be with his next dog. Just like our amateur dogs spending the night thinking about the water blind, our professional handlers have spent the night running this test over and over. Because you've got to make some decisions on your strategy on order of pickup. A couple of the amateur handlers just sent their dogs real quickly, didn't even stand up in an attempt to get that last bird down, which is that mallard thrown from the holding blind to the left. And then a few others, what we saw. And then we saw one handler get up and re-identify the long bird before he sent for anything. And then talked him into that short bird and went from there. Some discussion. Carter's kind of paying attention, maybe doing a little eavesdropping on the judges and discussion to get a feel for what they're thinking and what that score might be. Well, we have Mr. Michael Demmer, my host from the other day, and the word is he's going to join me here after he runs, so he'll have some great insight for us.
Good luck.
Well, if I didn't already say, I'm Pat Burns, and I've enjoyed being your host here for the 2024 Crown Championship. Gonna grab some of my gear and get myself set here. There's a threat of rain coming in, maybe even some thunderstorms, which we're hoping. All right, well, we've got Barrett, Mike Demmer on the line. Now, I would guess the way they did this, we'll see scores right away here. Because remember, when they start the test, they don't post any scores till they run about 5 dogs. But they've run 5 dogs. They ran 12 dogs, actually, or 13 now. So handlers are using that hand cue to really identify that position of that lung gun station. We've got some sort of delay. There we go. All right. A steady dog is very helpful here because they creep ahead. Oh, okay. We had a no. Oh, the bird bounced into the water. Well, one thing was pointed out to me. When you get these brand new Avery Easy Birds, they're spongy. They bounce. And if they're wet and a little bit older, they're not as flexible. And sometimes it's hard with that bounce. You hit right and they roll into the water, as that bird did. So they're just trying to keep this as much the same for every dog as possible. The risk there, too, is that bird bounces in the water, and by the time you send for it, it might be drifting away. So don't want that to happen. All right. Mike's going to come back to line. This is field trial champion. This is a FTCH. That's the Canadian field trial champion. If it was a U.S. field champion, it would be at just FC. So FTCH, you'll see that. And there's a couple Canadian field trial champions here. And sometimes you'll see CFC. I think when you see the Canadian dogs. All right, 139. 139. Our first dog. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so I could use some clarification on that because that said 139, but it said Cosmo and Jackson. Well, that was Carter Turner, so maybe we can get clarification on that. I'm assuming that was the score of our first running dog this morning. I'll tell you what, these all these workers, volunteers, they put a long hours in, camera crew, handlers. You can't even imagine how much goes into this. Well, there we go. Okay, all right. There's a Bread and Turner, 88. There we go. There's our first score this morning, 88. All right. Mr. Demmer is going to stand up. Going for this little short bird on the point. Maybe that second look at that bird's going to help him just clean this one up. You know, oftentimes this first retrieve really sets the tone for this, well, this right-hand triple especially. The clearer you are about what you just got, knock that bird out. A, it gives you a good score on it, but B, it gives the dog true understanding of where he's been so he can make sense out of where he needs to go. Dog's taking a little break. This was my instinct in the order of pickup. You know, it ends up, you know, it ends up being an outside. You pick up that short bird, you get the one on the right, and then you really kind of frame that middle bird in.
There.
Okay. Nice firm send. That's where you hope they don't decide they have to get in the water. He's right on it. Just don't run by it, buddy. Don't run by it. Bam! That's... All right. Get a little fist pump for Mr. Demmer. But you're not done yet, buddy. Got his Boston Red Sox hat on. He's going to swing for the fence here on this one, huh?
Boy, babe. Here, feel. 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 That. Here.
Well, Mr. Demmer is going to join me, and I'll tell you what, if he goes out and gets this bird, he's going to be flying high. Well, he's had 3 near perfect birds so far.
There.
Now, some of you may be wondering, like, wait a minute, he's not on the mat. Well, because of the nature of this, they've given you the freedom to adjust your sending point. You have to be in the vicinity of the chair. You have to watch the first 2 birds off the mat, watching them off the mat, but you can send from anywhere in the vicinity of the chair. Well, he's sent long. This dog feels like is fading right here a little bit now. He's right in, almost in line with the bird now from my perspective, but he feels like he has what I would call right rudder. Now, yesterday, our test dog and one of the other early dogs came out right, and I thought, oh, they could be in trouble, and they knew where the bird was. They made a little angle adjustment left and went to the bird. Some of the handlers, you know, they know their dogs, and usually the first 10 steps out of the water is going to give you a lot of information. And this dog, well, we're going to find out. He's definitely fading right. Oh, dog checked out something on the shore. A little bit of a left move. A little bit of a left move. I think you gotta let this play out here a little bit. There's not going to be much wind save. Now the challenge here is you lose sight of him there. Okay, their dog showed up again. He's been pretty much on a straight line. I think he made a move towards the bird. Oh, no, he's up. He's gone along. He's up along the fence. That's the challenge here. But I'll tell you what, this dog's using his head, and he's going to make the move towards the bird. Come on, buddy. Come on. Rooting for him. He's got the distance marked. He's just a little off on his... And if he'll just make a move across that little swale, there he goes. There he goes. That's going to get you a duck. All right. All right. Pretty fired up there. Good job, Mike.
I've been talking to you in this one, I think. I'm like, he's not here. I just need to switch my, you're fine. I just need to switch. You got an IFB?
Yeah, he told me to use number 1.
Oh, I am using that one. I wonder why you're not hearing me. Okay, I'll let him know. I'll just let him know. But here's your score.
Okay, perfect. Well,
Michael will be joining.
well, I think my co-host is going to be in a good mood when I see him. Well, Mike joined us earlier. He judged this last year in this very pond. And I'll tell you, Mike has, I know he's making a little bit more focus in the world of running field trials, and probably paid off on that exact mark right there. Very smooth, good handling job. You know, you're really trying to keep these dogs as comfortable as you can in that situation. And I think his plan on picking up that right-hand triple just really was smooth. I would expect most handlers to attempt to do that in the order he just did, but hey, it's just a guess on my part. One of my other co-hosts just walked by, Mr. Luke Core, and everybody's thinking hard here. Okay, all right. Now I'm getting organized. Okay, our first dog, Red, got an 88. I think this score is gonna be pretty strong. Ah, he gets a big clap. My guess is Barrett is gonna get a real attaboy here. That was beautiful. You can really watch that dog think. It's one of my all-time favorite things with those dogs. Did he have a perfect mark? No, but he had the distance pegged. He was just a quadrant off. And it'd have been very easy to get worried and just kind of get out of there or pop. Well, showed a lot of intelligence. Way to go, buddy. Good job, Mike. Okay. Yeah, somebody's teasing Mike on a score, and beautiful job there. All right, who we got coming up next here? I think we got Bobby Wills and Legend. Bobby's a veteran here. All right. I think they're talking scores here. And well, I mean, the points are going to be on that left-hand bird.
Dog number 1.
Dogs are very interesting thing here. You know, judges, in some ways, you know, they only got a score sheet. They don't really have a judge's book, because once they post a score, they don't have to look back on it. Unlike other scenarios where you're trying to reference first series, second series, third series. All right, Bobby Wills from Greenfield, Tennessee, with Legend. He's trying to make Legend a legend here. Get my calculator out so I can start getting some totals. Mr. Demmer needed that because he came in with 243, the last dog, and but he helped his cause. that right-hand bird. They had some trouble getting that winger to go, but that was perfect. Mallard gets a nice bounce on the point. Bobby's standing up, taking a little step up. Feels like he's trying to talk him in, give him permission to grab that short bird. That guy in the white jacket. Legend is a little careful here. There he goes. Not as much about the line as it is just the attitude. Legend's a little confused here, but I think he's trying to take advantage of the wind. A little bit like Carter's, yeah. Can't risk calling that a switch. So he puts a whistle on him, puts him on the bird. Yes, we are. I've got all. There's a 36. Okay, Mr. Demmer comes in with a 36. Now, the challenge there is he had 243 coming in, so he's going to need some help here. But this might be the test that makes you well. Either way, Mike's got to feel good, even if he doesn't move on his last setup here, if it ends up being his last setup. Was so successful. Yeah, Legend gets a kiss from Bobby's wife every time. Is that good luck going out the door. I tell you, I can't tell you enough that that first retrieve in some instances to me is probably the most important bird of this test. Because when these dogs aren't quite sure what they've retrieved, it really skews their perspective, and you can just see a little bit of uncertainty in this dog. He's going to come up with this right-hand bird. Uh-oh. Yeah, Legend wanted nothing to do with that area that he'd been handled out of, and he looks like he's headed back towards this right-hand bird. Here comes the handle. That's the challenge of that. You know, these dogs got a conscience. You know, they've been taught not to go back to where they've been. They're trying to do the right thing. And when they don't quite know what the right thing is, well, I think you're seeing what happens right here. Mr. Lyle Steinman, deep in thought, moving up into the holding blind. Watching everything, trying to get a view on where and if these dogs are winding these other birds. Tough go this morning. Tough go. Carter had trouble on the right-hand deal, and then excellent job on the long bird. Bobby's had trouble on two birds on the right. Well, you can't, you know, your frustration is there, so you got to really regain your stuff, because you never know. You're not dead yet. Bobby must have liked his look. He didn't spend too much time. He's going to just take a seat and take a load off and used to do that sometimes. They'd put a chair or stool up there on some of these long watermarks so you could just sit down a second. You'd never know he's feeling any pressure just by watching him, but well, you can see this dog is working hard to angle this pond, and a couple dogs just angled it too well. Now, there's your reference. You see that little tree on the point? The bird's to the right of that, and I wondered if some dogs might target those structures, and oh no. What do we got here?
Alrighty, well, maybe they got some luck today.
All right. Bobby's not getting the run he envisioned. You get started on the wrong foot on some of these big tests, and it's just hard to do that. Yeah. First I thought he'd been handling, but I think this dog is just really uncertain. So I think when he turned around there, those were kind of, I don't know if I'd call them pops, but they're peaks, but now it's going to turn into, I feel for this dog. He's trying to do the right thing. He just can't figure out what the right thing is. You saw that yesterday with our last dog, Lee Spivey and Kane, yesterday, where she had the rerun, and these dogs with an ultra conscience that are trying to do the right thing, when they can't figure out what that is, well, confusion kicks in, and I'll tell you, if you're training in these situations, you got to make sure you're not correcting your dog for some of this behavior. You got to really teach them through this, because it would be easy to get frustrated in this situation, but this dog is trying to do the right thing. He just doesn't know what the right thing is. Obviously, we're not training now, and he's just trying to get him to the bird, but there's nothing I saw in this dog that was a lack of effort. It was just more lack of understanding on what's happening, and happens to the best of them. Both Bobby and this dog have been up here in this line. You see that school bus in the background. Bobby's trying to cast him over and just finish this, and Bobby's just going to put him right on the bird. Of course, he's going to be disappointed. Just, you know, never got going. Just never quite got the feel of this test. Bobby's giving the judges a thank you for their efforts. I'm sure Mr. Demmer is back there savoring his run and looking pretty sporty right now. Okay, well, Mr. Lyle Steinman and Wager. The first field champion I ever made that I owned, that name was Wager. It was a Spree's Playing for Keeps was his name. His name was Wager. So, brings back lots of memories. And Lyle's going to run his Wager. Wager comes in with a 126 into this series. Top 6 dogs will move on to the 5th and final series. So the biggest challenge to 2 of the first 3 dogs is a 55-yard mark. Really, in my opinion, that's really what set the tone for the rest of that setup for both those 2 of those first 3 dogs. All right. 4-year-old Wager and Lyle Steinman, Stewartsville, Missouri. Sometimes you see where the dogs pick out some other object out in the field. One thing I notice here, and I guess because it's the same for all this division, we have 2 individuals on this long bird. And I'm pretty sure yesterday we only had 1, but so you're going to think like, well, they can't do that, but these dogs are competing. These are different categories, so it's not like you're changing the test because they're not competing against each other. Oh, there's the shorter. Mr. Demmer just sat down.
You've been hired, Pat.
Did a heck of a job there, buddy. All right, he's getting mic'd up here. Well, let's stay with Lyle here because he's...
Hey, Pat.
Oh, no, you're actually... Hold on a minute. Mike, what you've got there...
Let's talk to them.
We're getting mic'd up. We've got a bunch of different microphones here, and what he's got there is we've got one device that the truck talks to us, and the other one we talk to everybody else. All right. I think we've got a no bird here. Lyle gives a little head shake.
How about that? You got me now?
Yeah, I think we do. I'm sure they'll... If you're green on here, yep, you should be good to go.
All right, I got both of these things on.
What do we have here on our desk? Here we got the trophy.
I think that's the trophy.
Why don't you sit? We had a little trouble with reception. Maybe lean it up against her and stand it up. We just want to make sure you guys can hear us.
How about that?
All right.
All right.
They're here. They're not quite sure what caused our no bird. Oh, okay, I got it. The go bird, I think, bounced into the water. I'm guessing that was it. All right, well, 173 for Bobby and Legend, so.
Well, my heart's still beating fast from that run.
Well, I'm gonna put this up, but I gotta hear about it, and I tell you what, that was about as smooth a run as you could have. I mean, you went according to all plans.
Well, I know he didn't see that go bird. When I shucked the shotgun, he looked left across the pond. And he did the best job, I think, on the 3 right marks on the one he didn't see.
Well,
I just took my time and kind of talked him into it.
well, you did a heck of a job of it.
And then on that long bird, I really tried to take my time, let him focus, send him hard. And at some point,
Did you point pretty much where the gun stood? I mean,
I tried to point. I took a different approach from that bird. I wish I'd I think I opened it up too much.
by moving to the right to
Moving
center?
to the right. I think I opened it too much. I think you really have to hit that point, because if they miss that point and push off that point, that dips that right shoulder. And
Yeah,
now
but-
they're swimming right.
But he did
He fought it a little
and
bit.
he thought his way through that beautifully.
Well-
He could have melted down. Many dogs would have got, and we're talking about Mike's dog Barrett. He came up right, got to the back of the field, and a lot of, I mean, that's a prime point where a dog would either pop or just,
At some
do
point,
something.
that field champion title's got to kick in at some
oh,
point.
he just, he just, really thought his way out of it.
He's a pretty special dog, and he's owned by my good friend Kevin Riddell out of Canada.
Well, very good. Well, that's why he's a Canadian field champion.
He is. He's a very, very special dog.
Well, he certainly showed it there, and I mean, hey, when they're brilliant marking, I mean, it's amazing. But that, to me, was really an intelligent way he sorted that out.
I love an intelligent hunt.
Yeah. Well, okay, so Lyle's back up. Was that your plan? Because you didn't see that. You said you didn't see the go bird.
I really wanted to get the go bird first.
You
if he saw it.
did?
I just trust Bear to go with scent. And I was going to send on that go
Interesting.
bird, and I wasn't going to stand up. I was going to do it sitting with the gun. So Bear, this is kind of interesting fact, he's the only Canadian field champion with a grand pass.
Well,
So Bear works with a shotgun as good as a white coat. So,
very good.
but then my backup plans, if he didn't see that, get that short bird out of the way, kind of clean that up, so build off that.
And you'll see, that's the important thing there, Mike, is as a handler, now it's hard here a little bit, but you've got to be out of the corner of your eye. See him looking.
You gotta peek down at that
You've got to
dog.
see what the dog's seeing, because you know where the birds are going. You've watched them for a day. You need to know what they're seeing, so you can make that adjustment. Mike, what do we
See where
got?
Lyle's going here. Going to the.
Try
Looks
to-
like he sent to the
Short
short gun.
Boy, it just, for me personally, the rhythm of getting the right, getting the middle, just feels like the best case scenario. And
I know.
and I'm going to make it. I think your guy almost benefited from not seeing that middle bird.
I think you're right.
Well, once again, he used his noggin. He says, "I've been here, I've been there.
I know I better not go back on
I
that
better
point.
not go back." And if you'd have worried him too much, he could have lined by it and kept going. But you talked him in there.
And I mean, that was his best mark. I think he didn't. I mean, just pounded
right.
it.
He had that holding blind as a nice, reference there, and he cleanly got your right-hand bird, so there was real understanding of where he'd been.
And I think a lot of these dogs, they're comfortable going outside, middle.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here's
A
little
number of dogs
outside.
looked like for a minute they were going to go too right, but they all seemed to kind of bend in. He just
Ooh,
dove
hit
into
the
the cover. Now, I'll tell you what. I'm going to make a comment here, and I want your thoughts on it. After he gets this bird,
Should get it right there.
so, and this is what happened there, and my thoughts on this. On the second bird retrieve, the dog's going on memory and marking a lot. Sometimes when you do that third bird, they're following the rules more.
Right.
And if I was wide on that bird third, I think some dogs might just keep going because they're trying to stay a little bit safe. But,
Trying to be good dogs.
And that dog, he's still kind of in mark mode. He was a little wide. And a nice hunt. And you love the fact that they'll jump into that cover and dig into the rough stuff. So he's got two birds really solid. He's just trying to take his time and talk him in here, and looks good so far. And the clarity of that hunt on that right bird kind of just
What gets him right
gives
here,
you a
Pat, is
picture.
that's an angled in throw.
It is an egg.
So that's going to be a handle to the area, I would assume, because that dog hadn't made any.
It is an
any
angle
gesture.
throw, isn't it?
Yeah.
I couldn't quite decide if it was a real super flat.
It's a pretty good angled in throw.
He puts a quick handle on him. I guess he knows his dog, you know. And I'll tell you one thing. Not that he was that far from the bird, but his body language told you he was not checking down.
Well, as a judge, I would look at that. He didn't make a dog move to engage a hunt right there. So even though he was very close to the bird, that's probably going to be a handle to the area. Physically close to the bird,
Yeah.
but he wasn't hunting.
Okay.
So in order to have a handle in the area, that dog has to actively be hunting in the appropriate hunt area.
There you go. Well, that gained some clarity for me, because you judged this event last year, and
Wager!
it goes with the big send there. They go around this point. Now, if they don't make a move towards the bird right here, I think he could be in trouble here. No.
He's
If he
already
doesn't-
bowing right pretty hard.
Yeah.
Lyle doesn't look happy.
Doesn't like it. Doesn't like it. I think he's just trying to decide when. Well,
This is kind of like you made a comment on that landmine, Pat. If they're going to start going where you don't want them to go, you better get them quicker
a
than
little
later.
bit of it. I don't think so. No. I mean, it's hard to tell. You see a little tiny move left, but tell you what, I don't think if anybody has gotten
I don't think you
towards
can get
that
that
right-hand
bird.
telephone pole, that right-hand pole you see in the background.
Yeah, I don't think you can
And
get
I
that
may
bird.
be wrong, but I don't think any dog has gotten that left-hand bird by being that far right without being handled.
I don't know this for a fact, but I think your marking score is going to go up pretty good if you don't at least get pretty close to that second piece of water.
Well, I would guess it's not if he's going to handle, it's when he's going to handle.
Well, this will
Well,
be
just put the whistle in his mouth. If he comes up driving right, unless he makes a substantial left-hand move, and he did make a bit of
he's
a left-hand
bowing
move.
Bowing left. Lyle's going to ride it.
Well, what do you got to lose here a little bit? He's down.
He's already handled once.
And he's making a really good move left. This dog's going to figure this out.
He's over the.
He's up.
He's deep of the gunners now. He's over the hill.
He's actually left of where you were, but
Hey, come back. He
He
didn't.
kind of run out of field. He's gonna get this mark.
Wow. I wouldn't have guessed that.
Well,
Good
made a
job.
liar out of me, didn't it? I said it's not if, it's when,
Yeah.
and
Now he should
Boy.
see that holding blind back there where they're retiring
Yeah.
to. Find the gun, find the bird, Wager.
oh come on, now the dog made such a heady move to get over there, but now I can't see him.
He's a little bit.
Oh, there he is. Now
Deep.
that's where you started your hunt. Somewhere right in there.
Yeah, bear kind of broke to the right here, and he
And
kind
then
of came back, and then made
Did
a
you
couple
just-
big loops
did
out
you,
there.
all right.
He's pretty deep of this bird right now.
This is where some dogs, will just get anxious and either just take off or pop, or
He's running early. Not a lot of dogs sent out there right now.
yeah, he's pretty far right now. Good Lord. Well, he's over by that telephone pole to the right.
Lyle's being patient, trusting his dog.
Well,
Yeah.
he's,
In front of the school bus there.
I'll tell you what, I'm even more impressed with your job now that I watch this. I mean, your dog's problem solving. I mean, it just,
A 9-year-old dog. You got to trust him to do his job at some
well,
point.
that's right. But it's not just it's 9 smart years. It's not just 9 years.
9 hard years.
Yeah, look.
So Lyle has told us that Wager is a gamer. He was raised and trained by Janet Reed,
Okay.
and so he's got some experience in this, and he's trusting this dog here. He's a younger dog, I think 4 years old, in his first Crown Championship.
Well, he's getting some valuable lessons here, and boy, Lyle's let this dog
You know,
just sort. And I tell you
Based
what,
on my score, Pat, I think that they've got to be dinging you almost for wandering when you get deep to that hill.
Yeah, well-
You got to be getting some wandering points there.
and how many points for wandering?
So it's wandering to me is the hardest thing to score as a judge, because a fast dog gets penalized quicker than a slow dog. Think
Because
about
he
this.
covers more ground?
Because he disturbs more cover, is probably the way that you're
Okay.
used to hearing it.
So is the length of wandering? I mean, if you wander and then sort it out
So the
versus
way-
you continue to wander.
When I decide to start giving wandering points is when I say he should have handled. From
I got it.
that point, I go,
okay.
oh, he should have probably handled.
But the dog he's going to get this bird.
There,
You know what?
Worked it out
it's
there.
not going to, and it probably isn't going to show in the score, but I tell you what, I got to give that dog an attaboy for
Yeah.
just,
just staying in there and
Perseverance.
grinding.
you know, all you can ask a dog to do is maybe what we need to do ourselves sometimes. If what you're doing isn't working, try something else.
That's right.
And that's what he did. He had a good instinct because he came out and he broke left. He just didn't. And then I thought he was in deep trouble to the right. But Wager never worried, and once again, I think what he did is he explored some areas and said, well, it's not here.
There's only
Maybe
one
I ought
place
to-
left to look.
Well, but I think some dogs would have gone further right.
I think they would
that
really
dog made
hunted right. That field opens up, and there's not
Right.
the cover's not as thick as you would think.
And it looks from this
So
angle, but it's broken up.
So there's nothing to keep them in there. I mean, it's pretty inviting for
Right.
them to break across.
Yeah,
that
and
open
it's hard
field.
for us to see it.
It looks
crown.
thicker from this angle, but when I was driving in this morning, I just
Yeah.
kind of glanced over there, and you could see it's pretty sparse. It just looks thick.
I gotta believe Wager's initial instinct to go left. Eventually, he kind of said, "You know what? Maybe it was over there." Because I don't think many dogs are going to end up hunting that telephone pole and making that decision from.
To come back in.
But maybe I'm wrong. There was no wind save there. He
he
sorted
worked
that.
out.
He didn't smell it till he was almost on top of it. Once again,
And you got to think, even
the
with the
judges
bird
are
boys,
really getting the wind.
I don't think they're winding the bird boys with that hill. If anything, that scent, I think, is going over and then falling out into that field.
Well, they're retiring deep into those trees, so you're right.
Yeah.
You're not going to see them unless you're right up on them, and B, you're not going to smell them. Perfect wind for this test for these judges. I mean, when they're downwind, dogs got to know what. I mean, it's all about memory and intelligence. Okay, so what do we have? We had a handle on the go bird, which was his third bird retrieved. Little hunt on the right bird, and a substantial hunt on the left bird. So we'll see what that brings. That's Lyle, Steinman, and Wager coming off line.
I'm going to go just kind of on their scoring the way I've been seeing it. This is going to be between 60 and 80, somewhere in there. I just don't know how many wanderings he gave them.
Okay. Well, this morning we've got a 36, which is yours, an 88, and a 173. All right. We've got Mr. Stephen Durrance and Onyx.
This is the dog I told you we didn't want to sneak in here, Pat.
That's right. That's right. He's, well, Stephen came up with, I've got 112.
Yeah, we got
112
112.
popped up with Wager.
That was higher than I thought. That means they're getting you pretty good for wandering.
You know, that was such an extended hunt.
At some point, those judges said, I wish he would have handled.
Right.
And from there is when they started tacking. Now, did they time it? I think timing it's kind of unfair because a fast dog gets penalized more.
Right.
I mean, a slow dog gets penalized more than a fast
Right.
dog. You just got to really look at how much cover he disturbed. And I'm sure they've got waypoints in their mind out of there. If he goes between here and here, we'll give him. If he
Right.
does another loop here and here, we'll get it. So this dog right here, he's very well versed working for other handlers, including his, I believe it's his owner's. Garris Boykin won the SRS University this year with this dog. He's always a competitor in the SRS University. Both Boykin girls are very talented handlers under the tutelage of Steven. So I was just told he's owned by Ton Schnobert, but Garris handled him in the SRS University.
Watch this dog. He's really mesmerizing. He just has you can see his presence.
Focused.
Almost looks like you could have a conversation with him.
Yeah.
And what you do actually, just, oh, what do we got here now? Oh my goodness.
Steven forgot his shotgun shells.
Now I've seen everything.
Well, we can say that dog's got good line manners.
Well, okay. So he had to run back into the holding blind. Did they fall out of his pocket, or he just forgot to put them in? Well, tell you what.
Mr. Durrance is quite the politician on the way up, doing some chit chat and kissing babies. Maybe he just forgot.
You know what though? Been easy to just get incredibly flustered. As
That is it.
right there would have been.
I think I've known Steven for a long time, and to get him flustered is a challenge. Ooh. That makes you nervous right there.
He's gonna get it. He's gonna get it.
Do you think he burned that line to that go bird?
I don't.
No,
Not
not
this
if you go
dog.
right second.
I don't think so. You're right. That's. I really don't. This dog comes up and hits this test. I'm gonna like give him extra credit with all that time delay, but. All right. He just wants to get real clarity. The last thing he wants to do is hunt between that and the other bird. And Steven ran him off the right. Made a pretty big push to the right, and this dog's got a good mark. He knows an excellent mark. So he kind of came in, broke stride. He said, "It's right here," and it was right there. So maybe they'll make every other handler run back into the holding blind, get his shells.
between the forgetting of the shotgun shells and the not seeing the marks. Maybe
At
that's
this
the way to
point,
run the
I don't.
test.
It's not going to hurt him a bit. Dog was. So we commented on Onyx's. Onyx has got the hiccups a little bit or something going there. Steven's just going to let him kind of settle in. So his
There we go. That's a good
versatility and willingness to adapt to different things, probably that was an. All right, here we're going to find out. He's going to break on down here.
Yeah, he's going to
see him looking over at the holding blind.
Ooh, come on!
I still think he is. This dog's going to come
This is where it
back.
gets dangerous on that mom and pop.
Well, you're going to find out here in just.
He's going to get deep in wind. You can't wind it from right next to him.
Boom.
You got to get over there.
He looked at this holding blind. Now, when you're hunting angle back and it's an angle in throw, I mean, that right there is where that bird would be. Ooh,
Yeah.
is he going to be forced to handle her? Or is he going to sort
He's
this
gonna.
out?
I think Steven's going to trust him a minute. The dog's not in a terrible spot.
No, and he doesn't look nervous. You know, it's when they start to. He's going to figure
He's
this
gonna
out.
get it right there. Wow. What a dog to hunt that deep and come back in.
Yeah, you know, he
I told you we didn't want to let this one in, Pat.
He told you a lot when you saw him look over at the holding blind. He says, "All right, that's where it came from." He never. The difference between that and Lyle's dog. Lyle's dog was, you could tell he was looking straight ahead in the same spot. He just had different body language. And Lyle knew this dog's going to keep going. Look at Steven's style here. He just. What happened here? Oh. Did he come in limping?
He's.
Well, was he checking to see if there was a cut or something in his pad? Well, they probably ask the judges, can I take a look at it? All right.
Taking his time. Steven, look, Steven's going left on the mat right here. Way left of the
He's
mat.
going to he's going to play the left.
I think the smart move is to hit that point.
Some dogs that went way left, once they started to bend right, it was almost.
I think he's going on a pretty good line. Well,
Yeah.
he might almost be going overcorrecting.
That's what I saw a number of them yesterday. Like
If you push him too far left.
and they,
You know, sometimes, Pat, do you think that we overthink it?
well, of course we do.
And we just need to point him where he saw it
Well,
and trust him.
I'll tell you that Cash dog yesterday.
Paul's dog, Paul Arganoff.
Yes,
That was an incredible run.
yes, absolutely.
Not very many times do you see Mark put up 4 points.
Yeah, and that dog, you watched him swim across that. All right. So what do we got here now? Well, this is what we saw a bunch yesterday, and you notice he went left of that clump. Look where,
And
when he went left of that clump to where he is now, is a pretty substantial change in momentum that probably tells you this dog. Boy, he's really pulling right. I mean, again, I was wrong last time. I didn't think Lyle's dog was going to make a move left, but look at he's right of that pole. Well, but this dog has used his head before, and there's a little bit of a
well, he just watched.
a little bit of
He
an
just watched
adjust.
Lyle's dog kind
You're
of
right,
take
he
the
did
same
watch
line and
Lyle's
work
dog.
it out.
I guess you know they're going to tell you something again. The first 10 steps out of the water, and if they
I think he's bowing a little
break
harder
even.
right than
Right,
Lyle
I do
was.
too. I do too.
Here we go. We're going to see where his mind's at right here.
He did not go further right. He's going pretty
Carrying
straight
it.
ahead.
He's pretty honest lining
Tell
by
you
now.
what,
He's
he's
got a little right
he-
bow to him.
He's making a little bit of a left-hand move.
Got to give him a chance to smell it here.
If he angles a little left, he may end up kind of where where he's broken left. He's definitely down in that. Well, there's been a lot of traffic in that end.
Oh, he's coming right back to the bird right here.
Oh yeah.
Nope, now he's a little deep on the hill. My eyes are playing tricks on me.
It's hard to tell how deep, but he's definitely, once again, those dogs have made some really intelligent moves to put him in the zone of, at least in the direction of that bird. He's over the hill from my perspective. He's popped up right now. He's over by that
Telephone pole. And I think that's a pretty hard spot to handle from if you did want to engage.
Correct. You're right. You're absolutely right. It's hard to see him, hard for them to see you.
I think you would burn some whistles just getting them back into sight.
This is a lot like Lyle's job on this bird, really, at this point. But he's just...
Still a really hard spot to handle
Yeah,
from.
he's deep of the bird and a little bit right, and I don't know how deep, 50 yards, 60 yards? Hard to tell. You're just hoping now he can, there he is, now he's came in a little bit.
He still wants to hunt deep right there. I'm bet you if that dog would come about 15 more yards, Stephen put a whistle on him.
He's coming towards us. I see him on the camera, but I don't see him. There he is. Okay.
He's in there on the bird now. He's getting closer to the bird.
Oh yeah.
There he goes.
Well,
Come on.
so what did we get? We had
We got a-
hunt on the middle bird, on the go
Yes,
bird.
a hunt on the go
and a
bird.
Pretty substantial hunt on that bird, but no
He
handle.
overran the bird on the point and had to come back to it.
Oh,
not,
yeah?
not bad. I mean,
Right.
but you know, it all has a point value, and a really nice right hand bird.
So Lyle, no,
It's
but
definitely
Lyle
gonna be better.
handled on the
Lyle
middle
did have
bird,
a handle on one of the birds, so this is
and he
this will
pulled a
be better than Lyle.
112. Significantly different score on that dog than Lyle's on the left bird, or
do
pretty
you-
similar?
They were pretty similar. Lyle's
Yeah,
might
I
have been a
think so.
little bit
A
more.
little
of a
more
hunt.
extended hunt. I agree.
I think if that Onyx would have made about 2 more loops back there, they'd be pretty even.
Now Onyx came in with a 117.
I was just looking at totals.
Right. Bobby Wills had a really rough job there and
Yeah.
dropped down. Like you made a move, but you.
So so mine should be about a 191. 55 and 36.
Was that okay? So wait a minute. Did you come into this with 243?
Yes. No.
Is this?
I was at 155 and 36.
Oh, okay. So what am I doing
I
here?
don't know what those numbers are.
So these
That
are.
math ain't math in there.
You're right. You're right. Okay, thank you. I got confused a little bit here. So you were 155 coming in.
Yes.
Well, thank you. Okay. Well, so I'm going to start from scratch here. I got confused. We had some totals on the right, but I'm not sure where they came from. Okay. Well, let me do some math here then. I haven't announced anything, but so what do we? So you had 155 coming in. Pull the 36. You're at 191. I scared you there, didn't I, Mike, with that? my poor math skills.
I said, "Oh, Pat, Lord,
Okay.
I need a fighting chance." I
Well,
need some things to happen
I was thinking,
for me, but
so we had a little misprint on that. That's really the only one from what I can see. Somebody's plotting against you. They had you up with a 243 on the right.
all right, we got Clark Kennington. I don't know which dog this is yet. This
Clark
Toombs.
is running Toombs.
Toombs is a stroker puppy who was our crown champion a few years back,
Very good.
handled by Clark. So this is a dog Clark has trained off of one of his breedings, off of a dog that he won the crown with. He's got to be proud of him. This is the mother to that litter was Bailey, handled by Casey Parker here at this crown.
Yep.
And Toombs' owner, Kelly Corsi, is actually here today with his family, and I've met a lot of people in this dog world, and he's at the top of the list as far as good men go.
That's cool. Wow. If you're a lover of dogs, that's a good start in the character department for me.
Really cool fact is that Toombs started competing in the SRS when he was just 2 years old, making it to the semifinals and qualifying events.
Okay, well
Clark
here's our first one that
sitting.
just.
We're going to assume Toombs got a good look at this go bird here. Pushing right.
Okay.
Saw it.
Bang. Such a different in style here, but I guess you know what? If you don't primary select at all, in other words, pull off the go bird. Now, which bird do you get second here?
I go right second here. And then I'm gonna almost like very happily send on that easy
Yeah,
bird.
you're just gonna say, there's a guy sitting there, go find something. Okay.
I mean, my voice changes, my
Oh, yeah.
posture changes. I almost, who's a good puppy? Go get that easy bird.
Yeah,
You
Okay,
should get
well.
this one pretty good.
he's feeling
Wow,
good.
good
He's
mark.
had two
Good mark.
really
Good mark.
positive marks. But you know, the thing here is this dog, there's no confusion at this point. He's just bang, bang. So dog's already he's going to come in pretty relaxed. It's going to, no, doesn't mean you can tuck him in there, but it certainly helps your cause. Guess he dropped the bird a little bit there, but grabbed it right away. And you're probably saying, good dog, right there, right there. Right, easy, right there. That's almost like a sick 'em send. Just
Fetch. Go get it, buddy.
It's not about the line, it's about the attitude here as much as anything. You're trying to say, it's okay, and he's got
check.
it's
You
going to
want
be the
to check
moment of
down.
truth
This
here.
is kind of where he made his first.
All right.
There we go. You don't want him to hunt deep. There you
Yep.
go. He's going to put a quick handle on him. That was to save him from getting back in that old fall.
Right. So this is where, is that a handle to the fall area?
I'm going to say that because he had split the guns, to me, the area, to be in the area on that bird, you have got to be on that point or just barely in the water behind.
Well, it's got the smallest
and
fall area of all of them because it's the shortest.
And it's an exposed gun sitting there, so they have something to mark off of. And obviously
so
your
he plays the right
area
side here. He plays
on
the
this
right
long
side.
bird is much bigger.
Well, did a nice firm send. Got a good start. Dog's showing an angle now. Every now and then a dog just almost over-tried here. Do we have a little bit of light rain starting to come in? I felt a little bit of mist on my back.
Clark's going to take a load off.
Yeah.
Watch Tombs swim for a minute.
Well,
He's
swimming in the right
best line
direction.
so far today, I think.
So Tombs comes in here with a 110. And as a handler, you're studying every stroke, not just the line he's on, but you're trying to really read his mind. And boy, oh boy, you couldn't put him in a much better spot. Have we seen an Onyx score yet?
I think that's what they were just.
I hear some buzz in the background here a little bit. We'll probably see it pop up on the screen, but I'm watching this dog, and I'm watching him. You can't really appreciate his angle from that camera angle, but it is
He's pretty good.
darn good.
And if he's honest and he hits this water and carries that second, there's Onyx with a
Look,
7.
the 70, 70. My calculation, that gives him 187. Okay, here we go. Meanwhile, back at the ranch here. Pretty good spot. Pretty darn good spot. He's going over that spit, angled back
There we
into
go.
the channel. Boy, this is
He's really shaping up to have a nice run
really
right here.
nice, really nice. I learned a long time ago not to predict anything at this point, but so I'm going to keep my mouth shut just to not jinx them. How about it? How about it? How about it? Bam!
Wow.
That's called running up to it. He wasn't 8 inches off that.
No, that was a heck
I
of a
mean,
mark.
for the whole time. That was a fantastic long bird. Well, hadn't handled on the short, this bird. But the other 3 marks were pretty close to perfect.
Depending on what they give him here, he needs to jump a few dogs here to make it in.
So remind me, if it's a handle to the fall area,
Yes, sir.
how many points?
20 plus 2 for the whistle. So it'll be 22 as soon as you blow the whistle, if you're not in the area.
Yep. Did it take just one whistle to get him in on that bird, or did it take more than one?
I think just one. So, but he's got to have an offline, or they've got to score that mark. And the way that you kind of do that is from the point that Clark handled.
Mm-hmm.
If that dog on his own had turned and gone directly and picked the bird up without hunting, what would you have given that score? That has to get added on to the 22, because each mark has to have its own score.
Okay. Well, you judged last year. You just watched it. What's your score on that short? And how many points are you going to pick up on that short bird? In your opinion, I know it's
The one he handled on.
Yep.
My marking score on that would have, since he overran it, and it would have been about he wasn't offline much. I'm going to say 6 to 8 points.
So he's got 6 to 8 points.
So I would give him probably 30, 30 points on that left mark.
So you. Well, there you go.
55.
55. Okay. Well. Our efficiency today has been pretty darn good here.
All right, we got Carter Turner coming to the line with Snow. Snow's an 8-year-old yellow female. She's got a hunting retriever champion title, master hunter title, and she's qualified all age.
So Snow comes in with a 107. Remember, we go in reverse order, so each dog we run is 1 step higher than the previous on the coming into this. All right, Carter's.
Snow doesn't look too excited to look way out across that pond. So Carter, I see your duck call. Can't you call him closer?
Now, sometimes you don't see the bird, but if you can remember where the gun was, but Snow was a little bit like, are you kidding me? When she looked out there.
She looked way loud. I think Carter might have got her right at, give her a little here.
Yeah, that's right. You hope you get a glimpse, but
we don't get that in that field trial world, that little here when they overlook it, do we?
At least
we do the tap dance.
Yeah, I just step. It's one reason that I try to get my dogs so responsive to my movement. It's really the only thing you can do.
I don't think she saw that bird very well. Maybe. Carter's going to bring her offline. Line her up and sweet talk her into this easy bird, I bet. He knows she saw that easy bird.
You know, and getting up, moving them around is kind of what you do when you do a poison bird. So at first the dogs, but it's that last message is right. You're really just saying, okay, go ahead. You go ahead and have it. You overdo the poison bird stuff so much, and they get a little worried. They're going to line through
Yep.
those birds. You make them too good at it, you pay a price on the other end. Okay. Boy, when you can just get that clean first bird and things just, you can get a rhythm going. I mean, some dogs just are such good markers. They just say,
She's pushing off that gun pretty good, but she's correcting.
But nobody's.
Oh, now she's kind of taking it right.
And she's
There.
bending in.
Hook right in there and get that bird.
Okay. Okay. Well, 2 pretty solid marks so far. Real solid marks. Small little hunts in the fall area.
You know, I was nervous here because I know Barrett did not see the go bird. And I almost thought, do I go the big bird first
Oh.
and then try to run that as a blind maybe? But
No,
see what Carter does.
problem with running that middle bird as a blind
I think
is,
they could
is-
overrun it pretty
Yeah.
easy.
I mean, they. Okay. Uh-oh.
He's going to have to put a handle on here pretty quick.
Yeah. You put those in a basket, those dogs that are, some of them just don't, are a little bit anxious about the tightness factor.
Thank you. He's a good one.
All right. Carter's got a handle on snow on the go bird, which is actually the middle bird of this test when you look at where they're laying. All right. We got some folks stopping by the tent giving Michael a congratulations on his effort this morning, and you got to feel good about that.
Just hope it was enough.
Yeah, you know, it's out of your hand.
It is. Hey, the pressure's off. There's nothing I can do.
But I said when you came offline, if it's not good enough, it's a great way to go out. Isn't
Yeah.
it? But as of right now, all you've got to do is beat 6 dogs, right? You've beaten 3, but now the challenge now is,
Yeah, we're getting to the better scores.
well, win, lose, or draw, you're going to feel, you got to feel really,
my first
really-
crown, Barrett's first crown. With him being 9, I don't know how many we got, but we've got some other dogs in the kennel coming up that, like the young dog I had here this week,
Right.
Asian.
feel really good about it.
Yeah,
All right.
I feel like I've got some bullets to play with next year.
So Carter got over the point, got a little bit of a right-hand bend. We've had a bunch right in here, and some of them figured it out. I'm a little worried about her because she didn't like the look over there. You
No,
could
she
tell when
didn't.
she looked at that big water, she went, I don't know about this. And no. Hard to tell.
Yesterday, this was a terrifying spot to be in, but we've
It
shown
was.
today that
Uh-huh.
they can
Some
work
dogs-
it out.
Well, Carter's got the whistle in his mouth.
I don't think Carter's going to let her get deep and put that hunt on like Lyle and Steven did.
Mike, I said there was talk of actually putting a 5th bird in here at one time, over in this area over here. I almost think that would have made it easier.
I do too. Something they could reference off
Yes,
of or
to
bounce
push
off
off of.
of, especially if it was an exposed gun.
Because if you could just tell them, don't go back to where you've been, it might have forced them at least to the left. All right, what do we got here? Where is she? These yellow dogs are tough to see in that color cover. And he's just,
She's deep.
he's back in that back. I'll tell you what, back in that same corner where there's been a bunch of dogs back there, and she's gone to the right though, isn't it? I think I see her over there by that.
By the
There she
telephone
is. Oh,
pole,
well, we
deep
can
to
see her there in
pole
the
and
camera.
rolling. She's about to hit the neighborhood.
They're kind of up along that fence line
Oh,
there.
kind of coming back. See that tree line bounces them back into the field.
Yep. I see her, but she's still setting up camp near that. What pole is she by? Is she by the right hand?
I think she came in and got a piece of the wind right there.
Okay. Well,
Well, she's a little deep still. He's going to put the handle on her right here. Now see, Pat, this is...
oh, see, he can't. I don't think he can see her, or can he? Not sure what camera angle we're seeing, but
should
she's
have
coming through that little draw.
Should have a whistle refusal right there.
Got her stopped there, but
There, she's about even with the bird right here.
she's got a. There's a little bit of almost a little draw or a little dip.
There, he got her to stop. I think that's the first time he's got her to stop.
You casted her across that draw.
And the cast refusal to the right. She's a little short of the bird here, up to about where the gunners were in there. There,
Okay.
he got her there. It wasn't the run we needed.
No, it isn't. Took a ding there. Well, that's
So I have a double handle there.
yes, handled on 2. Carter and Snow coming in with a 107. Probably going to take some points there on 2 of the 4 birds. You know, I mean, you're in this situation a lot on trials and stuff, and you know, you don't want to root against your competitors,
absolutely not.
but you want to win, and I know what you're thinking, you know, and so you got mixed feelings. But I guess you know what, you laid it all out there, Mike, and
I said this to some friends that are here.
uh-huh.
My pre-training group and
Yeah.
clients and wife was here, and I said, you know, when I was on stage with Pat, I didn't realize we were doing the first cut right there, and I felt it for every handler.
Yes,
Like every time we'd announce the score, I said, oh Lord, they didn't make it.
yeah. Well, it just you know,
Pat, I'm
you
always
handle it right, you know, it inspires you to work harder and dig in. And
No, for sure.
It has me over the years.
I almost like to be, I don't like to be leading. I don't like being chased. I like chasing. You go out there and you put up a good run, and then you can just sit back and know
Well,
that you
you're-
left it all in the field.
You're in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
In the clubhouse, waiting to go in the back 9. I see one of our judges is making a move, so we'll have probably a short delay to get started here. Sometimes that swim back just takes forever when you're online. You're going like, I guess you're reflecting on some things you've done, maybe what you could have done different or wished you'd have done different. Carter did everything he could do. You know, this dog, she was a little anxious about this test. You could sense it, and
Yeah.
I think it ended up hurting her more on that.
I think once he handled over here, it kind of got in her head even
Yeah.
more.
But she didn't feel good about going back in on that go bird, and
It makes me really confirm in my mind that she didn't see it. I mean,
Right.
she
Right.
was being nervous, not going back to where she's already been. She's obviously a well-trained dog, or she wouldn't be here.
well, that's the rules that help you sometimes that the dogs learn. Some of their lessons can. I'm not saying they're going to backfire, but they can. There's times where you wish they didn't worry about the rules so much.
Yeah, that's what I love about field trials is that, you know, here we see our numbers, we see our scores, we know where we stand. I just wait for callbacks. I mean,
You like that, or you don't?
I like that. To me, it just, this sitting here nailed, my heart races and it sinks. It's up, it's highs and lows. And
Well, I'll tell you what.
just call me back or don't.
When you're at a national and you've got an announcer and you here are the callbacks, you just, all of a sudden your hair stands up on end. And some of these announcers are like, here are the callbacks. And everybody's, All right, 139 for Carter. 139. Came in with a 107, so that's going to give him a combined score of 246. Again, all you got to do, you don't have to beat the pack. You just got to beat 6 of the 12 dogs to get to the 5th. That's all you want. You just want a chance.
Anything can happen. That's been proven in every series. These judges have done a phenomenal job giving us a chance to make a move. To me, that's what the SRS is about. You should be able to come into any series and play off your strong suits and make a move.
Yeah.
And so far, these guys have set up 4 fantastic tests.
Yes, they have. And they do it in one day. You do it. You only have one day to set these up, huh?
That's last year. We came in. I think we picked them all out on Sunday before big hats and bow ties. We had a general idea. There was a few tweaks as you go, of course. We got Clark Kennington and Teal. She's a 9-year-old black lab female. Teal is the favorite around Castile Creek kennels, and she is loved by everyone.
Or he.
But he.
It says male. Is she?
He.
Yeah, it's a male. I think that's
sorry
right.
about that. I thought it said female.
Yeah, looks like Teal got to look
Gotta
at that
look at
long
that bird. She's full of anticipation.
All right, Clark's getting. Well, he remembered his shells. That's a good start.
Step 1.
Well, you could bet Mr. Durrance is going to get a little heckling from that on that. Forget the shells from. Is Clark going to stay with the? Okay, the first time he just cut him, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
So he's going to switch up a little bit. I assume when you stand up, you're going to select.
Yes.
And you're going to. If you're going to send for that middle bird, the go bird first, you're probably going to cut him pretty quick, aren't you?
That's the typical grand style. Because in my mind, every time if I stand up to send him, I'm breaking his focus on the last bird he saw. So if I can keep that shotgun really still, and I know he saw that go bird, I like to send from the seated position.
Well, he's in exactly the right spot. But the wind's pretty downwind, so boom.
Good mark.
I guess when you land on top of it, you don't need the wind. Okay.
Knowing where they are helps.
Yeah, it does. That's what I say. You can do a lot of things, but sometimes the dog's got to do some things for themselves. And that was, well, all right, he's got one down. But I tell you, that first bird, he shook and flipped the bird out of his mouth. That first bird is oftentimes just sets the tone for the rest of the deal. All right. You know, I've seen some dogs that I think are wide, and they just, now this dog hasn't bent in yet. First dog I've seen over there, and he put the horn on.
Smart handle. What do we say? A quick handle is preferable to an extended hunt. Getting some refusals here, though.
Yeah, you just, because of you let that dog go around that corner.
And you don't know how long he hunts back there
He could go
for.
through the fence, he could be in the road, he could be, and the dog just didn't show any indication that it ID'd that holding blind and gun station. First dog to do that. And well, yeah, I get a little head shake there. He says, wow. I didn't see
Still
that
has
coming.
the, still has the go bird here.
Yeah.
And the long bird.
He must like the look. He hasn't spent. Ooh, 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 ooh. What do we got?
Ooh, we're gonna double handle right off the gate right here. Just got a text from one of my co-judges last year, Jamie Moss. He said he's sure enjoying our commentary this morning, and sitting here watching is making him want to get up and go run some marks. Jamie was a heck of a good guy to judge with last year.
Thoroughly enjoyed hanging around you guys, and these judges have been just the same. We've had some good conversations and fun little discussions. It's deflating, you know. You can't let down here because you handle on 3 of the 4 marks, and you probably sealed your fate.
I think if you want to miss that point, you want to miss it a little bit wider and let them correct. Maybe so they keep that left shoulder dipped.
They give you all that room on the mat to go left or right, and
you talk about giving you the ammunition to overthink it. I like it when you paint me in a box. Can't go too far.
I don't have to think too hard.
Yeah.
Well, this dog has got a little better start halfway across the pond. Just hard to get a dog to get back in marking mode when you've handled on
2 marks.
First 3 birds. I mean, it's just, some dogs can still have the confidence to sort it out. Some dogs don't. I mean, his line is pretty solid.
Fighting the wind.
But sometimes you'll get that 80% of the way in the last minute. When they say, okay, I can get out, then once they do, I'm going to take a look again at that overhead picture, because as you're watching this, you have an appreciation for really the angle that you're having to deal with there. And it'd be great if our gang could pop up that overhead picture at one point, because I think you're going to really appreciate what we're talking about. And how much angle there is. That is not obvious from ground level.
Made a little spin there. Kind of in the middle of the field.
Yeah.
She's going right towards the telephone pole. Kind of set up shop in the middle of the field.
Well, I tell you, the one thing that's going to happen is there's been so many dogs over there now. Virtually every dog but one has put up a hunt over there, and that foot scent of those other dogs is one of those things dogs key off.
He is pretty far right. I keep saying she. I
I
apologize.
Right. Yep. See that school bus in the back?
Head is up. He caught wind of something.
Yeah.
And we're going to go ahead and put a whistle on him.
Oh, well. Teal came in with a 106 here.
With a triple handle.
Yeah, we had one other triple handle.
I don't.
That was
so.
Bobby Wills.
One. Oh, Bobby did. I didn't. That was when Bobby was in the holding line behind me after I ran.
Now, not all things are equal, but Bobby pulled a 173, and
He's racking up some. So he had a few cash refusals there on the handle.
But you got to believe it's going to be.
I think you're right. After
over 100.
Yeah, I think after handling that first one, it was hard to get back into marking mode.
Yeah. When
that dog first got out over there, Pat, he he made a little tight circle, almost looked like he wanted to pop. And then
Yeah.
he turned around and drove, and he kept driving like he knew not to pop.
But it just shows the anxiety that the
Yeah.
dog is feeling. Like, I'm not sure where I'm at. I'm not sure how to get to where I'm going. Well, here we go. All right. Well, there's our board there. Clark's top with this other dog, Toombs. Stephen 87. There you are, Mike. In third right now.
Still got a lot of good dogs.
We
to
haven't
run.
seen Teal's score come up, but you're right. Well, playing out similar to yesterday. You know, in the amateur group, you know, a lot of variety in this, and conditions are similar. All you can hope for as a judge is that, you know, the dogs do these birds, you know, for the right. They're not stumbling on anything. There's no stumbling on this test. So, all right. All right, we've run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dogs, correct? We've got 4 to go. We started a little bit before 8 o'clock. It's 9:38, so we're, what, an hour and a half into this? A little bit over an hour and a half. 12 minutes a dog, 4 dogs. We're going to be done with this 45 minutes, around 10:30, let's say. And then we're going to go to the 5th and final one. So, all right, let's talk about your 5th and final one.
Yeah,
last year, boy, that was
a doozy.
Now I've seen some hunt tests, I've seen some HRC, I've seen field trials. But when I saw that, I said, now I've seen it all. How many birds did you throw?
Oh, what did we throw?
You threw 5 birds.
5 marks and 1 heck of a water blind.
Yeah.
I thought the water blind was going to be the test, but those marks, wow, they were just
Yeah,
as...
one of the marks was
That mark
a poison bird right near,
yeah, right.
You know, on the just outside the line to the outside of the line to the water blind. Really made it tough. So when you're setting up that hunt savvy test, to me that's the one. For me, that would be the most challenging. It was like,
The way I approached it, Pat, and I talked to my other co-judges last year, and I said, guys, we all duck hunt. What can we do to make this like duck hunting?
okay,
I said, how many times have you been duck hunting and let me go out there and move the mojo or move the decoys real quick, and then as soon as you get out of that pit, then ducks land right on your head. And that's the kind of what we tried to simulate by them starting that test, by going to place the snow goose decoy on the stand.
all right. So
and the marks going off.
So there's the, I mean, for lack of a better word, the theatrical part of it. But what is that? But what you're trying to do is create some confusion that happens on a hunt.
Yeah.
You're still trying to judge. You want to judge the dog's efforts.
All right, coming up,
Okay.
we got Jordan, 9-year-old black lab female, QA2, an SRS champion, along with all the Master Nationals and Master Hunter titles that you can get.
All right. There's Clark and Teal posted a 163. Well, pretty similar to Bobby's score with the triple handle. Some of these big numbers are really going to have to get some help here from some help. So, okay, Teal. Okay, well, here we go with Lyle.
Pretty cool about this dog. She's tremendous in the field, but also spends every day inside with Lyle and Stephanie. Yeah. And Jordan is the love of Lyle's life. We're going to go ahead and assume behind Stephanie.
Well, I'll tell you, you know, some people think as a professional, like, oh, you know, they're just
kennel
but you
dogs.
don't have that,
Yeah.
that rapport, but that couldn't be any further from the truth.
I own exactly 0% of Barrett, and he spends every night on my couch.
Well, you own 0% on the papers, but
And Jordan is actually owned by Mr. Jack O'Connor, a longtime friend and client of Lyle.
you see that dog make the little bend right around the corner, like, okay, I know where this is. All right. So, when this is all said and done, it's going to be interesting to see. Luke Cord just came by and said, no wind. Well, okay, well, I'm not even going to repeat what I just heard because I don't want to give this dog the kiss of the day, but just
We're going to see if
This
that
dog's-
statement's true.
well,
That
that's
looks
true.
pretty
Well, that's some
after
pretty
that
pinpoint marking.
Yeah. Lyle is
Lyle's-
very confident in Jordan's marking abilities.
Some of this is marking, some of it's thinking.
Some of this,
And that's the
One-
combination. Problem solving. You know? Two good marks.
one of the guys that Carter's learned from is Lee Howard. Lee Howard told me one time that the key to the SRS is teaching a dog to be comfortable in uncomfortable situations.
Great. And I've used a similar thing. This is when you get into all age training, I mean big dogs, teaching dogs what to do when they don't know what to do.
Jordan.
You know, trust you, lean on things, follow some rules, go where they're pointed, and then be comfortable. It's a good spot. Good spot to be in. Oh, that's a good move. You're gonna get it, you're gonna get it, you're gonna get it. Ooh. All right. Lyle puts the quick handle on there.
Ooh, the refusal.
Not so much where the dog was, but the dog's body language, similar to Lyle's other dog. Straight line, never deviated, never showed that change in stride. And so Lyle knows this dog so well to know that she's physically close, but she's lining by it. And he's coming in here with a 104, so he can go out and hit this bird. He's got two good marks.
If you look at the
Handle in the
ripples on the
middle.
water and the wind that's kind of hitting us, it's a funny wind right now. You
Man,
feel it
a
off your
little
left
swirl.
ear?
Yeah, but for the most part, I mean, it's you know we've got some rain somewhat in the forecast, so you got to assume that we're going to get some little shifting wind. I'm going to kind of look at our radar and see where we are on this. We definitely have thunderstorms north of us. Hopefully we can get lucky. The last time I tried to be a weatherman, I screwed it up here earlier in the week, so I'm not going to say anything. Well, this would be a good time for Jordan to put her marking shoes on here on this bird. Lyle's working it hard.
Jordan!
Lyle was very patient, you know, and you could see that communication. He just let her kind of soak it up and look and really think. Sends really firmly. You know what you say to yourself right now? It's out of my hands. I've done what I can do. Hopefully. Dog's holding a nice angle here, at least in the beginning, I think. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Now this dog's only a third of the way across the water.
A very good spot. Same line that I think Toombs was on. Toombs is by far the best long mark of the day.
Let me look over here a minute. Okay. I'll tell you what though. There were a couple dogs yesterday that got a little too far left, and that was like over here. And John Robertson and Kate were over there, and he handled just as the dog came out of the water. And there was one other one. Oh, it was Bailey. And I thought Bailey was going to bend into the bird. Now this dog's making a move in the right direction. But Bailey got up and went over the berm, and I thought, oh, and then came across and ended up handling. But all right, here we go. It's a different day, and Jordan is now starting to make that move more towards the gun and the bird station. So she's going to cross a little point, almost like I'd almost describe it as a mud flat. And I think if she goes to the right of that tree, which from this point it feels like she's going to, it's going to put her in a more favorable position. That adjustment she made in the last 20 yards tells me that she's got a better idea where this bird is.
She's kind of pushing left of the tree now.
They do tend to square across here. Boy, this is so similar to where
And she's trying to be a good dog and take the water.
2 dogs were yesterday.
Oh, she's making that move right
I'm
there.
moving in right. Now, how old is she? She's
9 years old.
Now, this is where
She's
9
got a
years
lot
of
of
experience
A
now.
lot of experience on her.
Now she's made a little. She's going to come up left, but if it were me, I wouldn't be in a hurry to handle her. But no dog has been over here today. Now she's making a little right-hand move. Look at Lyle. It's like I can't even watch. All right, here we go. It's the ridge. There she makes a little right move. She's got the tails. Well, I don't know this. All right. Now you're going to pick up you should find some sort of a comeback trail, but without these being real birds, you don't have quite the scent on that comeback trail. This dog is down in that dip. A little bit to the right of the bird now. Now she's passed over on the right side, in line with where a lot of dogs have been. But now she breaks over the left. She's going to get it here, I think. Ooh.
She's deep now.
Boy, right there, it's just hard to tell from my perspective. She's kills you because she's been everywhere but right where the bird is now. Now she's back over there.
She's caught up in all that dog scent from them hunting earlier in the morning there.
She's, I think, deep, and then she's definitely right, but she's up along that back wall again where so many dogs have hunted today, and she just came in from a different perspective. Lyle's got the whistle in his mouth, and he's trying to decide, how do I make this look as good as possible? Problem is, for a minute you thought she was going to be too left. Now she's too right. When that dog got out of the water, her tail was a little tucked.
I don't know how she didn't get that bird when she
Her
first
tail
got
was
out
a
of there.
little tucked, and I don't know her that well, but I didn't have a good feeling. Lyle goes ahead and handles. Oh, my goodness.
Pat, I'm as nervous.
My co-host is like, well,
This affects me as much as him.
co-host is starting to hyperventilate here because he's waiting for callbacks. Well, because whether he moves on is going to be dependent on some of these dogs here. So Lyle's got a double handle here. Boy, he just felt like he put him in the right spot there, and has just. But when that dog came out of the water, she had an odd body language that made me wonder, like how just what she was thinking, and that if she did just kind of driven up the hill and says, I think I can figure this out, but she just gave me the language that she was pretty worried. Once again, it's a testament to the quality of that mark, because there's really no easy side. Sometimes, as a professional, you can figure out, if I can just get them there, they'll wander into the bird. That hasn't happened. Now, I love a mark that the dogs see, and it's hard to find. And they put two gunners. Here, I've got a question
It
for
wasn't
you.
necessarily easy
They
to
did
get
not
to.
have two gunners out there in the field yesterday.
They did not, no, sir.
However,
so
this
since,
is a different field.
exactly. So they ran the amateurs yesterday, and they are allowed to tweak a test because the amateurs only compete against the amateurs, and we ran them all on
Right.
the same test with the same conditions. So when we came out here today, the judges were allowed to make a tweak because it was only the pros
Right.
running against, or it was
Right.
only the open dogs running against the open dogs, because anybody can run in the open
So
division.
if you'd have run one open dog yesterday, and then today
you wouldn't have been
couldn't
able to do
put
it.
two
No,
gunners
absolutely
out.
not.
Did they do that for mechanics or visibility, or both?
I
One
honestly-
guy works the gun, one guy throws.
I think that is going to help cut down on the no birds that we had yesterday.
But two bodies in the field
Yes.
and give you more to look at. Okay, well, but I'll tell you what, hasn't necessarily made a big difference, has it? All right. The double handles. Did Lyle double handle one?
99 copy.
All right, well, we're getting some unofficial scores that I'm not going to say anything yet. All right, dog 77 in Jordan, just completing.
The score 99.
Had some, there you go, 99 pops up. That gives Jordan a 203, if my calculations are right. And if that is correct, we have 3 dogs left. Mike, does that put you in the finals? My co-host, he may not be able to talk for a while because he's, I think we just realized that if our calculations are right, and I'm pretty sure they are, that Mr. Demerer and Barrett are going to come from the back of the pack to get into the finals. Well, all right. Luke Coors coming up with Say It Isn't So, Willie Mays. Say Hey Kid, excuse me. Say Isn't So was another baseball player. I told my Willie Mays story yesterday. All right, number 70, excuse me, number 95. Luke Coors and Mays coming over.
Oh, Pat, what a feeling. Wow. I absolutely hate that for Lyle, but
Well, you folks at home, if you can't appreciate the excitement and energy that you feel at this level and anticipation, it's pretty spectacular. All right, there goes our right-hand bird. Luke steps up.
good big throw
Gets a
from
good
that
look.
long bird.
You notice, you see Luke, he's really, really watching his dog. Because you need to see what they're saying. It gives you some insight.
I feel like this series could play right into Luke's strong suit after making a pretty significant move to field trials here in the last couple of years. And under the mentorship of Danny Farmer, it's hard not to
Yeah,
get good at him.
well, you're right. I couldn't think of a better mentor than Danny Farmer. He's all right. He goes for the quick send. Look at the dog. He looked like he was gonna. He said, "I'm going for that middle one." He picked it up and he said, "Well,
Well, what's this?
maybe I'll take it and go get both of them." Did you see him do that?
Yeah.
Well, the mechanics have been pretty much flawless this morning, so
We had one no bird on the first dog in there, and then they worked it out pretty quick.
yeah. Here's another dog wide.
going really wide right here.
This is where, who handled? Now he's gonna let it
Clark
play out.
Clark handled teal right here instead of letting him get deep in that cover.
Luke puts a whistle on him. So where it looked like even if you were wide, they bent into the bird. That didn't happen with a couple dogs here. All right.
Or now come back in here, really talk this dog into it.
Well,
You know this dog knows where the bird is, like you said. He wanted to continue that
You're
route,
right.
but
You're right. Well, it'll be interesting. I mean, it could
this
work
dog-
two ways, because if he left going for it,
this dog was raised and trained by Luke. So Luke should have a pretty good bond with this dog now. If the dog trusts Luke to talk him into it, we're going to find out.
Hey,
Luke says in the field this dog's nothing but speed and desire, and then you take her in the house, she's goofy and lovable.
now, I'll tell you, here's where that wide line right hurts you.
He's going to have to put another handle on her.
I'll tell you what, this little triple on the right has proved to be all these dogs and handlers can handle. We got a double handle here. These are our top 3 dogs right here, so
She's run a great trial
gonna
at
be
this point.
there's some shakeups going.
heel, heel.
I'll tell you what though, the double handles have taken it, or the triple handles have really, as you would expect, posted extremely high scores. So you're just trying to guard against that. Came in with
They manage the bleeding here.
Came in with a 98.
Luke's really taking his time, letting her catch her breath, really talking her into this bird.
Hey!
Luke takes a seat and he's just gonna trust his training at this point. There's another dog with a really wide right start. You know, I mentioned Danny Farmer and how Luke has learned from him at the advanced level, but we can't ever forget that Rhodey Best, Luke was raised by a terrific father, and then Rhodey Best took him under his wing as a young man and kind of raised him in the hunt test games. And Rhodey's wife really has taught Luke a lot about the mind of a dog.
Wow.
And he likes that point to be made clear that he's had great mentors along the way.
Every one of us has, and that just makes me reflect myself. Yeah, that is true, and good for Luke to be grateful. And you know what? I'm sure what Luke will do, he will pay it forward to the next generation of people. And
I know this triple handle's not, or double handle. Is he double handle
No,
here?
triple
handle. It's not what he wanted.
no, we've had
But,
2 triple handles today.
I mentioned to you earlier in the week that I think Luke's a great ambassador for the sport, and I'll tell a quick story. First SRS I ever went to, I pulled in as a guy with one dog, and the first person to come over and introduce himself was Luke Core.
Yeah, I spent some time with him up on stage here last year, and I was very, very impressed by just his presence, character. As spending 40 years as a professional, you learn about the character of dogs, but you want to learn a lot about the character of people. And this guy, he's top notch. but I tell you what, he's really struggling here. Just feels like it's all he can do to get this, because this dog doesn't want to cast left, and he gets 2 steps and back, and he's going to have to probably reel him in again. There's just a line of taller cover. I think the dog's having a little hard time seeing him now.
Like again, that cover's not very thick, but it's pretty tall.
This dog is just bound and determined to go deep and right. And it's probably, well, there you go. It gets over there to the left, but there's a lot of footprints up in that corner.
Really having a hard time getting her over there.
Yeah, he's going to be lucky to get this bird at all.
Again, this dog's only 4 years old. Not super young, but definitely doesn't have the miles on it like some of them.
I think the only way you can get this bird is
Bring her all the way.
substantial.
Yeah. That's it. Brings up a point, Pat.
Right there, you lose. I mean, go ahead.
You see it. You see a lot of people that when they go to handle, just start casting from where that dog's at. You have to put that dog in a handleable position.
Yeah. Yep. Tell you, some of the hardest handling you'll ever do is handling on a mark. You know, the dogs are just in a different state of mind, and well, he
worked through
grabs
it,
the bird,
picked
but
it up.
Luke puts a big sigh and comes over, as a grateful competitor is. He goes over and shakes the judge's hands. Wind's kicking up here. We might have. We gotta grab these tents here. We don't want to lose them.
Pat, we went from commentating to ground crew.
Take a look at that, because I tell you, some of that weather snuck up on us the other day. Let's see if there's anything.
I don't know if I can go through another round of that.
No. Well, again, you never know. I see some green areas around. The real intense storms are straight north of us. And
some little spotty
and a
showers?
clumper straight south of us, but there's some little green spotty
As long as
showers.
they stay there.
Well, we can manage rain, but lightning, thunder, not so much. But as of right now, it looks like our highest chance for thunderstorms are about 3 o'clock.
So I don't know what we're doing for a final series today. I was just told it's something we've never seen before. And Pat, we've seen some craziness in these final series. So.
You know what? I had a pretty good idea, because they shared with me, you know, these 2 series we've seen here. But I don't have a clue on the other one. And then when I showed up on day 1, I saw what they had. But they've had some good stuff.
They've had
I have
some
to assume
doozies.
this isn't going to change now. I'm afraid Luke is, well, I don't know. I mean, the bubble now jumps to probably 203. You got to be under 203 now, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Next dog, we got Leo Joseph in the holding line with Tex.
Speak too soon. Tough deal, buddy. Well, Luke comes back. He won it bad. You could just sense his frustration and disappointment. But That's
You
what
wouldn't
competitive
appreciate the
sports are.
highs if
Oh,
you never
yeah.
experienced the
No,
lows.
That's right. Well, Leo, Joseph, and Tex, I'll tell you what.
Leo is the owner-operator of Rivertown Retrievers in Natchez, Mississippi.
These last 3 dogs put down a water blind yesterday that were just really, really good. And
He's running Tex, Lake Effect Retrievers, Texas QA2, an 8-year-old black lab male. And outside of this game of the rubber chickens, Tex loves to go get them mallards duck hunting.
well, if he
They
comes
say
up
he
and finishes
hunts-
this, he's
yeah.
going to duck season not too far off, is it?
He's probably looking forward to it a little more than this.
All right. So our last 3 scores, and I haven't seen this one yet. I'm sure our last 4 scores have been pretty rough.
See if Tex can make a turn around on luck right here that they've been going through. Look,
A little bit short on that one. I mean, high and, I mean, not bad throw, but just a little shorter than the other ones have been.
the judges must have been okay for it. They called for the second bird, and now Leo's going to back him up, sit down, and load 2.
I looked at it from a different angle, now like a punt. It
Yeah.
it hit low, but had a bounce for the punting team. It kind of bounced out a little bit. No. If that bird is shorter, does that? And you were thinking you were going to try to get the go bird first. Does that change your strategy?
Yeah, I think you try to get that. If it's short now, it's really crowding that line to that go bird, and you don't want to risk burning that line to that go bird. I'd go in there and get it.
Let's see what he does. Now, he
He
cuts
sends
them
them.
quick.
He sends them. He thinks he saw it.
Okay.
There we go. He
Yeah.
saw it good. You know, that duck hunting might play into this, Pat. How many times, they see that last bird kind of sail out there a little bit duck hunting, and they run right over the top of them dead ones and the decoys to get that long sailor.
And he, the challenge, you stand up, you break their concentration,
Yep.
and
Even moving that shotgun, sweet, I like if that dog's focused, and I know he saw it,
where's he
send
going
him.
here? Is he going right back in there? It almost feel like Leo was going to go right back and get that little short bird. No, he's not. He's going to go for the right bird. He just doesn't want to get that too far. A couple dogs went really far right, so he's tricky sometimes. That line right on the edge of the water. The dogs either want to be in it or totally out of it.
Pat, when you were training dogs, did you 2-side heel your dogs?
Yes and yes. I went through stages. First of all, I didn't when I was early, when I was mostly before I turned professional. Then went to work for Mike Lardy, and we did it there. And then in 1987-ish, I started Esprit Kennels in Michigan, 234 for Luke. Yeah. So then I did do 2-sided for a period of my time, and a lot of my owners and stuff really struggled with it, and then I went back to 1-side. I said, all right, let's simplify this. I went back to work for Mike later, and I was forced to go back to 2-sides. And so I guess the answer is yes, no, yes, on the 2-sides. And there's that. I agree with Mike. I think the biggest advantage a lot of times is watching the birds down. It's valuable, but not crucial. All right, here we go. Here we go. Ooh, yeah.
Wow, I thought the short throw would.
How short was it, though?
Maybe it wasn't as short as we thought.
We looked at it from a
different angle. Yeah.
Obviously, it wasn't. But Leo's,
After that first series, Tex proved he knows how to go out there and get those long retired.
Yeah.
But the one thing that first mark didn't have was the water, so we're going to see his water attitude here.
Now these guys are in here. I mean, obviously this is going to play a big role in the final outcome. He comes in with an 86, our second highest dog, and our third highest dog just kind of put himself out of the running. Luke did. All right. Leo's taking his time, puts that hand in, holds it real firmly. Goes for that big send. He got the starty with it.
Yeah, I still think going across that point is where you need to be.
Well, by having that, if they would have forced you to stay on the mat to send for that bird, that
clump of grass,
clump
yeah,
really
boy, that
would have
really
been, you know, and I didn't realize that those.
I thought that they were going to make us pick the white coat marks up from the mat and the two shotgun.
So when they
marks
say
from
the
chair.
vicinity of the chair, what?
So
what does that mean?
that's a term that goes to the grand. At the grand, they want the dog. You can be in front of the chair at any angle, pretty much.
Okay.
So you want the dog backed up tightly to that chair, in that area of that chair. Does that make sense?
Sure. All right, look at this. Look at this. This is looking pretty promising.
So Leo here, he comes from, he's got a background in showing horses when he was younger. So competing with animals is always something, that he's been a part of. And then he got his first duck dog, and it inspired him, and he wanted to see how far he could take it. And here he is trying to get into the finals of the Crown Championship.
Well, I understand he won 2 world championships.
2 world championships showing horses.
So he's not a stranger to high-level competition.
There you go.
with animals.
High level pressure. I'm sure there's pressure on that, same as here. You want to be successful, and you want to see all your hard work and time come to fruition. So
Leo is an attorney, now dog trainer.
Yeah.
And I mean this at all funness here. My good friend Bill Woodson was an attorney as well, and he said to me, I said, what do you do, Bill? He said, I'm a reformed attorney. So that's...
My granddaddy told me, one's an attorney, always an attorney.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, let's see if he can...
He made a big move left coming off that.
Leo's
going to put a handle on him, it looks like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's where... Now, this...
I think that was a smart handle, though.
Boy, he
really took the cast he gave him. Instead of letting him get deep and then having the handle, we're just going to put him on the bird.
I tell you, dude,
get out of here to that next series.
I would have thought some of those, maybe not that left line would have really been.
That just shows you these dogs are fighting that wind. I think that wind's strong enough today. That dog knows it should fight it.
Or do they target some of those structures? Give them something to look at, like that.
It is a little bit of a cluttered background back there. Oh, in the running water, we're going to get a whistle refusal there. That's a hard whistle when they're in that running water.
Yeah. I think he just said, hey, I'm not going to make...
I'm going to dig back here.
I think he's going to handle on 2, and he's going to get some dings, and that's going to shake up probably the leaderboard. But right now, he's just
happy to be that bird's in that dog's mouth and on the way back.
Well, we have 1 dog left here at 10:15.
What did he come in here with? An 86.
He came in here with an 86.
Thank you.
So what does he need? Well, he's got some room here, doesn't he? What do you see here, Mike? I'm sitting here trying to look at these numbers. So we've got 165 right now is our lowest
Is our low,
score.
yep. And we're going to go 187,
191, 203,
maybe 4 dogs.
246, or 243. So
243.
he's got to be, if he's under 246 total, which should have to be 180.
Well, he'd be one more down. The
He needs.
So you go. Let's see. So our low's 165, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here's one.
As of now.
As of right now. And then we go 187, 191, 203, 4, 243. So right now, 246 is the bubble. So 243 is in 5th place right now.
Well, 246 is the bubble, right?
Yeah, in 6th, but with one dog left to run. And it's going to be Carter, Turner, and Riggs. He's going to come in here with a score of 53. No. Still waiting to get a score for Leo.
So if he gets a 160 or below a 160, that'll put him below 246.
And that put him
in 6th place.
in 6th place with one dog to run.
True. He'd like to get, if he goes, hold on a second here. Really the number he'd like, probably more important, is if he's below 157, he gets it in for sure, no matter what happens, right?
Yes.
Am I reading that right? Puts him below
Below 243. If he stays below 243, he's in no matter what. A total combined of 243.
So the 243 dog is Carter and Red. So he's probably the one. Well, everybody's anxious, but probably
73. That's going to put, so I just got a new graphic from Miss Shannon.
Yep. Okay.
All right, in 6th place, as of right now, the bubble is 203 with Jordan. It's going to put Barrett in 5th place. Stephen Durance and Onyx sitting in 4th. Toombs in 3rd. Tex in 2nd with one dog left to run.
And do we have a number on Tex yet?
Tex was a 73.
Is that official?
Yes, it's on this graphic from Shannon. There it is on the TV right there. We got
there you
Tex
go.
and Leo Joseph, score of 73.
Okay.
And that should
Now,
gonna
mind
punch
you,
his
Carter is in.
to the finals. All right, this little young, super young chocolate dog has shown out all week. This dog is owned by Clint Beatty out of the state of Florida. He's an HRCH hunting retriever champion. 3-year-old chocolate male Labrador retriever. And all eyes are on this dog right now.
Yes. I'll tell you one thing.
Carter calls
Mike.
for bird 1. Get a good throw onto the point. Steps into him for the long watermark. Dog sees it well.
So Carter needs a
Carter-
106 or under to stay in first place. Is that correct? Am I reading that right?
Well, we just saw Leo come out of this last series, or his last run there with a double handle and stay
Yes.
in the 73s.
159.
So in Carter's mind, he saw that run. He knows he needs to get 3 of these clean, and if he has to handle it, get a good handle and get out of here. Still in the lead. He'd love to pick all 4 up clean, though. I guarantee that.
Tell you what it's setting up to be is a sprint to the finish, my
Yeah.
friend. Because, well, we'll see. Carter, see what my man Carter does here.
Sends him.
All right,
There we go. Got the short easy bird out of the way.
one down. Gets a little clap there. Carter's trying to create those positive vibes on the line. I don't know what it is sometimes, but sometimes when you think you're always in a better spot to run late, but once maybe a set of watermarks starts going rough, it's hard to break the trend. And it's hard to know why either.
I think he was sending right, and
But this dog,
he's gonna get
does this dog know where this bird is? He sent firm.
winded it. He saw just as he got deep, he hit them brakes. Carter clap. Check.
That was interesting. You think that dog's conscience said, "Wait a minute, I can't run around
I
that
can't
water."
run by that. That's where that young dog is scary
He
to
said,
run.
"Wait, you know, I don't run around water." Or did the dog just know where the bird was and say, "Wait a minute, there's
I
one
think
there."
Carter sent right, and I saw
Oh,
that
yeah, I
dog
do too.
dip that left shoulder. Said, "Dad, I'm not running by water.
No.
That's never made you happy
right.
before." Let's see what he does here. This is where the advantage of a 2-side dog would come into play in my mind. You might not need it
We've
though.
had a few that have gone
Way
hard right,
right.
and
Look,
this
he's-
guy is kind of on.
Ooh, what? Oh, broke down really short here.
Oh, that
It's not necessarily a
That's gonna
bad
help.
thing. It broke that
Oh,
momentum,
definitely
driving him
not.
right.
boy, oh boy, I did.
Hit the cover. You should wind it right here and get it. There it is.
You could have predicted a couple of those moves. I
No.
mean, I think we sent for that bird. Dog breaks in the water, drills the middle bird. This time it looks like he's headed to the right of the cover where 2 dogs have had to handle,
And he just
and the
cracked
dog
his
just made.
neck.
Wait a minute, knew the depth, and
Yep. Worked it out quick too.
No, no. Yeah.
Sends him hard
Goes for the
left
big
of the
send.
bush. I'm gonna stand up and watch this one, Pat.
well,
Us and every other person on this property.
Carter went for the big influence left send.
Looks like he's pretty left right here.
Left, but angling right. So I guess the only one that knows what's going on inside that dog's head is the dog.
Carter already has his hat off. I tease Carter about this. That looks like his granddaddy's hat. He said it's his lucky hat. Got it in his hand if he has to handle quick.
Well, strategy here. I mean, tell you what, this dog has made some, I guess they have to be really heady moves that I didn't see coming. And does this dog
He's made
have another-
mature decisions at an immature age, that's for sure. It's been impressive to watch.
Now, our number 1 dog, who ran, I guess, second to last yesterday, John Robertson and Kate, were almost in this exact spot. They were
Hit left of the tree. Do you square it? I don't imagine Carter letting him get too out of pocket here.
They have consistently from there.
Squared out.
I mean, I would have read that they would have maybe just bent into the bird. This dog's making a little right-hand move. Boy, I gotta give this dog 6 or 8 steps out, 10 steps out of the wire. You probably wouldn't let him go over that berm.
No, I think if he drives up that hill,
but,
Carter's gonna break him
But this
down.
dog has made some moves that other dogs haven't on these other birds. Does she have another one in her? We're gonna find out here pretty darn quick here, because she's just about to get out of the water.
Here we go.
Carter's got the whistle. He's in his handle position, so he's
Driving left. He's gonna put a whistle on him, I bet.
Ooh.
Whoa, he gambled.
She jumped in another piece of water.
Wow. You can't see that from the line.
Interesting.
Cannot see that from the line.
Interesting. I saw a splash over that deal. The challenge here, if she bends it a little right and just keeps going, she could be in the trees by the gun, or she could be a long way away.
You can see the top of a holding blind right there. Looks like they were there. Oh, look, dog's to the right, where the bird is.
Oh.
Got the bird.
Wow.
There it is. Little chocolate dog showing us how to do it.
That. Look at Carter. His face is.
All right, so I just got word that we're coming up with a graphic here that's going to show our leaderboards.
All right, here we go.
Here's our amateurs. All right, leading the pack, we got John Robertson and Kate. In second place, we got Paul Argonoff and Cash, Jason Flassiter and Shaker in third, Dustin Owens in 5th and 6th with Ranger and Fancy, and Kevin Baggett with Satchmo in 6th place.
So now we're going to bunch the pros and amateurs together, and the
I think that we're going to go ahead and mix them up and run by score here.
highest number will start, right?
Highest number should run first. Traditionally, that's how we do it. All smiles from the young kid from Patterson, Georgia.
When I watched Carter turn around, his face was almost as red as that Eukanuba tent. I mean, you could just see the energy in his, wow. Boy, he just had an instinct. And I tell you, I was worried for him a minute. I don't know how many people would let that dog go over that berm.
Get in that next water.
And you just, I was looking for her to show up by that trailer, and all of a sudden you said she's right. So she obviously, and I originally thought that's kind of what would happen, but
can't win it if you don't put it in the middle.
So she got out there and found those gunners. I mean, and then made sense out of it. Boy, I'll tell you what.
So this dog's got to deliver this bird before we can go ahead and read out our open leaderboard.
You know what? I don't know how old this little dog is, but she has
3 years old. 3 years old, Pat.
She doesn't know enough to worry about it.
No, that's.
But I tell you, that's just, I mean,
As much as that can kill you some days, it can sure help you on others. And he's just been putting it together this week.
well, you got to believe he's going to have a pretty big lead going into the 5th. Comes in here with a 53. He said, Dad, what are we doing now? He said, did I do good? Wow. Well, there's a cutie there. What are we going to have? What are we going to have? Suspense.
Yeah. Shannon's telling me in my ear, hang tight. They're about to put it up for us. Here's Carter's son. Where's his bag of Cheetos, Pat?
Oh, that's right.
Uh-oh. The good luck streak's going to be broken if that dog don't get a Cheeto.
I wonder if they...
Now, Pat, as a personal favor, I'd prefer you not to remind them of that.
I won't say it. I won't say it.
Good job, Carter.
That's pretty exciting stuff. I'll tell you what, I hope you're spending your Sunday morning hanging out with us here. Now, we're gonna have some graphics here in a minute, and we're gonna relocate, so we'll have some downtime.
There's the bag of Cheetos. You better go catch Riggs there.
All right. Here comes our score. I hear it's going to be 53 plus whatever he just got on this test at 36. Oh my goodness.
All right, so leading the open division, we have Carter Turner and Riggs with a score of 89. Second place is Leo Joseph Tex with a 159. Toombs and Clark Kennington are in third. Stephen Durrance Onyx fourth. Michael Demmer and Barrett in fifth. And Jordan and Lyle Steinman in sixth.
Well, look at that handler list. That's a pretty power-packed deal. Everybody's got, you got Carter, Leo, Clark, Stephen, Mr. Demmer, my co-host, and Lyle.
That just shows you right there.
Everybody's got a bullet in the chamber there.
Minus Tex and Riggs, every one of them other dogs have been counted out at some point during this thing, and that's what we got to love about the SRS is you're not out till you're out.
Carter's got a what's the math? Is that a 70-point lead?
He's got a good lead right here.
That can all well, you can just see no change in the top two dogs here. Both. Rig came in first place, Leo came in second. In the amateur division, our first place dog maintained its first place standing. So, well, wow. What do you think's next? Well,
again, I've been told it's something we've never seen, and I'm ready to see it. We've been here for about 10 days, Pat.
Mike, thanks for joining me, buddy.
Hey, thanks for having me, Pat. I've enjoyed it again.
I'm excited for you. Congratulations on making it to the final series.
I'm gonna go behind my trailer and throw up now. And
All right, everybody. Well, we had a great run this morning. We were very efficient. We got everything, all the kinks worked out. We had a big variety of good dog work. Mr. Demmer, my co-host, just left, and I'm Pat Burns, and I'm enjoying our Sunday. Hope you're enjoying being here with us at the 2024 SRS Crown Championship 25th anniversary, presented by Eukanuba. Stay tuned. We'll be back here in a little bit with the 5th series.
The Super Retriever Series Crown Championship is presented by Eukanuba. Sporting dogs give us everything we ask and then some. Their nutrition should do the same. By Shreveport-Bossier Sports Commission, we are focused on you. Louisiana Tourism, feed your soul. And by Lucky Duck Kennels.
Your puppy only gets one start to set the foundation for a lifetime of performance at your side. Fuel growth and activity, support digestive health, and give him a training edge to one day flush, point, track, retrieve. So when the gear comes out, he'll be ready. Make every milestone count with game-changing puppy fuel. Eukanuba Premium Performance Puppy Pro.
The Shreveport-Bossier Sports Commission is here to help you with your amateur, collegiate, professional, or Olympic sporting event. Centrally located in the Arklatex area, Shreveport-Bossier is a premier sports destination, ideal for hosting sporting events of any size. With our wide variety of venues, including stadiums, convention centers, rivers, and universities, we are sure to have the perfect location for any event. Our team is ready to make your event a success. Visit us online at ShreveportBossierSports.com or on Facebook at Shreveport-Bossier Sports Commission and let us host your next event.
Two birds of a feather. We flock together every day, and I'll do anything to protect that loyalty. Durable, dependable, and downright dirty. And I'm not just talking about my dog. This 5-star crash test rated kennel is lightweight, secure, and made right here in America. Loyalty goes both ways.
Dating back to 1874, the American Field Sportsman's Journal was delivered to the homes of sporting dog enthusiasts and hunters across America, paving the way for the all-around sportsman's publication. Now under the ownership of the United Kennel Club, the American Field Sportsman's Journal is reborn as an upgraded version of its original grandeur, celebrating the lifestyle for those who value a day in the field with canine hunting companions. The new journal will be a quarterly publication designed once again to showcase our way of life with all sporting dogs, including bird dogs, retrievers, hounds, beagles, and other types of hunting and working dogs. We will also embrace the outdoor lifestyle, bringing attention to wild game, cooking techniques, veterinary medicine, conservation matters, and game shooting topics, all right to the fingertips of our readers. From first-time handlers to lifelong dog owners, we value everyone's story, and we're working to cultivate a community of like-minded individuals who dedicate their lives to their hunting dogs. We invite you to join our movement as we honor our past, embrace our future, and provide a gateway for hunters and handlers of all levels to explore the unbreakable bond we share with our dogs.
Training the dogs is one thing, but training the people, that's really where it is. Because now they can be better to their dogs. Their dogs can trust them more, and they're going to be more successful. And I've done a lot of coaching of people at nationals, and it's really what turns me on, is putting together the dog-handler combination and helping them understand each other. And well, success is bound to happen when you can do that.
In my Louisiana, the day starts at 4 a.m.
In my Louisiana, every meal is a celebration.
My Louisiana really makes me wonder.
Ours is fast!
With real-life swamp creatures!
In my Louisiana, music is a way of life.
My Louisiana is sheer magic.
From sun up to sundown.
Till sun up again. What will your Louisiana be?
When you find your Louisiana, you feed your soul.
They're partners, ready to do whatever it takes. Athletes that pound for pound can outrun, outwork, and outperform anybody you're watching on Sunday. No contract required. You don't waste that kind of potential. You train it, fuel it, unleash it. You feed nutrition that holds nothing back. The Eukanuba Premium Performance Lineup.
Buying an RV should be easy. I found the perfect RV for my family at BayouOutdoor.com. Bayou Outdoor made the whole process so easy with their great low prices.
Come see a line of Brinkley campers new to the industry. You'll find customer-driven product designs in the lineup of fifth wheels, travel trailers, and toy haulers. Come check out the Brinkley collection today.
So stop wasting time with other RV dealers and get your family camping now. Bayou Outdoor Supercenter, Bossier City, Louisiana.